that duality in everything. They saw the physical and spiritual in everything. This is like just like black people. We black people everywhere. We try to find the spirit in everything. See what I'm saying? Let's go. All right, so let me see here. Now, if you are enjoying the content, by the way, like and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss anything, because yeah, the fam has started to make this journey a little bit more epic. You know, the family and the alumni has turned a corner, and this is gonna be fun. Let's go. So now, of course, deal with the mysteries of the Sphinx, the evidence of the lost twin, esoteric role. Now we're going to get into the Dream Stela of Jehuti-Mesu, a few ancient texts, suppression, erasure, and hidden code, and we're going to unlock some secrets. Now, dealing for Brother Ferguson and Brother Mo. Okay. Oh, by the way, shout out to Brother Mo. He is studying to level up in his career. I wish him well. He is doing fantastic. He's still part of the Ujumbe fam, but he's quietly studying and trying to go to the next level in his career. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Understand me? So, but get this: the Sphinx is more than, say, stone. It is a lion's body representing earthly power, instinct, projection, protection, while the human head embodies the mind. It represents the mind and the spirit, divine reason, and order. Its alignment at Giza is no accident. This was purposeful and this was strategic. It bridges heaven and earth. It bridges Geb and Nut, serving as a threshold between the visible world and invisible mystery. Shout out to the fam. Shout out to Brother Ferguson and Brother Rashad. They're going to love this. The Sphinx teaches in silence. Okay, the African Kemetic mystery systems and traditions, silence is a vehicle for hidden knowledge. Now, I don't have an image here, but get this. Nephthys, for those who are into King Tut and remember his tomb, Nephthys was guarding a chest which had his sarcophagus on the inside. Tutankhamun represented the hidden one. At that point, when he was put into his tomb in the King's Valley, he represented the hidden one, the unseen. That's for free. So initiates learn to listen with the soul and the spirit to perceive the subtle messages embedded in stone, wind, and shadow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Brother Isu. This man has been a great supporter of the podcast since he's been here, and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys. You guys don't know. I'm gonna get to it in a second, but you guys have been a blessing. You guys have been a blessing to me, and this has been a great journey. So, and am I stopping? No. Am I taking a break? Yes. But I'm going to do that hopefully in about a few weeks. But yeah, but we're gonna talk about that in a second though. But yeah, so let's consider the idea of a twin sphinx, of dual mentalities, right? If one sphinx stands in the sunlight, could this counterpart hidden represent the shadow, the lunar principle? Remember, we talked about the different kinds of priesthood. One of the priesthood of Amun, where it was active in the daytime. There was another priesthood of Kansu, or even Jehuti and many others. I may, don't quote me, but a lot of them was active at night. See what I'm saying? So there's a lunar principle, the unseen aspect, the feminine energy, like Brother Volta mentioned about the Akhët and the Akhet with the T. Okay, together they form ma'at. They form balance, duality, and cosmic harmony. And so there's symbolism there. Okay, I love this, Brother Ferguson. I love this picture right here. The lion's body. Okay, the human head. Right. I'm gonna get the lion's body, human head. The lion's body, the earth, instinct, and power. The human head, the mind, order, divine reason, alignment, bridging between heaven and earth. I'm gonna get back to that picture in a second. But silence is initiation. Remember that. Silence is initiation. Sphinx teaches without words. And there's a lesson that a king learned by sitting with the Sphinx. We're gonna get to that in a second. In African mystery tradition, silence transmits hidden knowledge, right? And so now we have, get this. So, in a sense, to walk between the twin lines is to walk the razor's edge. One endeavors, the others redeems. One one faces them, and the other is to face yourself. One faces the outward world, the other one faces the inward world. Okay, so now, but man, I need to put this on the shirt. I ain't lying, but the Akhet, this symbol here, with the two lines and this little like two little hills and the sun setting or whatever, that is the Akhet. Okay. Beyond the stone lies the Akhet, the horizon, the sacred threshold where Ra rises and sets, where life meets death and the spirit meets matter. The Akhet is depicted as two mountains flanking the sun, the Haru M Akhet. Okay. The twin guardians of the cosmic doorway. Okay. Think about it. Giza Plateau as the living Akhet. Okay, one Sphinx visible, solar masculine, the other one hidden, feminine, together guarding the passage of consciousness itself, right? And so this is another image here. Okay, in Kemet, the Akhet is not just the line where the sun meets the earth. It is in my opinion, it's a cosmic portal, a liminal threshold where the opposites meet, where the Netaru meet, where day and night, the physical plane and the ancestors meet, life and afterlife, right? Visible and invisible. It's the point where the spirit crosses into matter and matter returns to the spirit. Now, before I go further, check this out. These are two lions, or you can say lepers, I think, but there's the Akhet right there. And this is binding them. This bar here binds them. But get this, one is looking towards the past, and the other one is ever looking towards the future. Yeah. And so, and right there in the middle is the present. That is the Akhet. Think about that. The Akhet is always depicted as two mountains or twin peaks with the sun rising between them. These are the guardians of the horizon. It's two of them. The liminal pillars at the frame that frame the passage of Ra. Think about this. If the Sphinx itself was one guardian, could the lost twin be the other, forming the sacred Akhet at the Giza Plateau? It's kind of out of balance right now. It's kind of at its fit. Okay. One visible, solely masculine, and the other one unseen. And so think about the pyramid text. The pyramid text has something to say about that. The doors of the sky are open for you. The doors of Newt are thrown wide open for you. The doors of the horizon are thrown wide open for you, that you may go forth by day. And you may have power over the body. You are Haru or Horus in the horizon, the great one. The two lions are your guardians at the gate of the sky. Okay. Notice the doors of the horizon. See, Akhet, the gateway between worlds. Pay attention to the two lines, the two guardians, one seen, one hidden, mirroring the sphinxes, right? These are twin guardians. Could one be the Sphinx we see and the other the one that's lost? And get this, there's times of the year when the sun sets between those two pyramids, just like that, just like the Akhet right here. There are times a year when the sun sets like that. So I would like to believe that whole Giza Plateau is a physical manifestation of the Akhet. You know what I'm saying? Like and comment below. Let me know. You see what I'm saying? But I believe that those two, that the whole Giza Plateau is the Akhet. And so there's, and get this, I got something else. I forgot to add some more. So here's the thing. There's the Coffin text, right? All right. The Coffin text says this, though. I know the gates of the horizon, guarded by the lions of yesterday. I have passed them. I am eternal. I am he who sits in the shade of the twin Netaru, whose two faces look forward and back. This is the Coffin text. Okay. I am the lion who watches in silence. I am the one who opens the path of eternity. Okay, so the horizon is the threshold of initiation. The twin Netarus, the twin lions, the duality, sunrise, sunset, masculine, feminine. We need them both. Okay, passing between them both is the spiritual rebirth, the eternal Akh or the Akhet, or what's the word? Volta, help me out. There's a word called eternity. Heh, there it is. I figured like James Brown. Heh, you know. So you know what I'm saying. So the thing is, you know, that voice, that ankh and the het that represents life and eternity, passing between them is not, say, a physical act. It is a initiation for those who are seeking. It is a crossing from mortality into eternal consciousness. So, and then also the book of coming for about days mentions this. It says, "Hails to you, O Akhet." Okay, shining upon the mountains, rise, O sun disk, between your twin guardians. May your rays awaken the spirit and open the doors of Newt, that I may ascend and dwell with Ra. So we have twin guardians. Okay, be it physical, there's one physical and there's certainly one spiritual. If we can't see it, there is a spiritual one, right? The Akhet, which is the mountains framing the divine message, the rising sun, symbolic of the soul ascending. The lost Sphinx, a potential hidden counterpart. Now there may be, we're gonna talk about. We're not done with that because in a few minutes we're gonna have to talk about the 15th century account. Okay, and when we consider the lost Sphinx, it is possible that the Giza plateau is a physical manifestation of the Akhet. One guardian is stone, the other one is hidden. Just like when we talked about the Black Pyramid, right? And it was designed to go from the physical plane to the, you know, to the into the underworld, in a sense, where the mud actually melted in back into the ground, right? Be seen and then not seen anymore, right? Because even the hidden chambers are still there, but the external part of the pyramid isn't there, right? So, yeah, vote to say, yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay, I appreciate it. Because I want to make sure. And so, yeah, so think about the Giza as the physical manifestation of a cat. So think about this. Imagine that walking between the twin peaks of the horizon, one Sphinx before you, a solid material one, and then the lost twin, right? Perhaps buried. Okay, one represents the seen, one unseen. Okay, now, now that we understand the Akhet and the cosmic horizon, now we can get into the Dream Stela of Thutmose the fourth. Yeah, now that see it was a setup. Now that we got that, now that we got an understanding of this physical and spiritual aspect of the Heru and Akhet, now it's story time. But before we get into that, I got a question. I got a question. All right. Ancestral dream travel or astral flight to Sirius? Like and comment below. Okay. Ancestral dream travel or astral flight to Sirius? What do y'all think? Let me know in the chat. Let me know. Like and comment. And if you're on the replay, put that in the replay too. All right. Now, thank you very much. Because Brother Issa, he jumped the gun. Yes, your boy King Cam is recognized as the #1 African history podcast globally. Yes, sir. By shout out to FeedSpot, shout out to them. They kind of track this. They track the various podcasts and the various genres. Yours truly, King Cam Ujumbe podcast, is #1 globally. Yeah. So y'all want to do dream travel? Yeah. Yeah. I would too. Yeah. But yeah, and you guys made this possible. I'm really humbled by that. You guys made it possible. About a year or so ago, I was not doing lives like this. You guys, by asking the questions, by getting involved, by getting engaged, caused me to reevaluate how we do things. You see what I'm saying? And Brother Isu, he said he liked the live format because it's like a classroom. You see what I'm saying? And so since January, we have been actively live at least once a week. And you know, you guys have made this podcast amazing. You guys have made this awesome. And I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful that you guys are taking this journey. You guys are, you know, by asking the questions, by doing what you guys do and supporting you, this podcast has taken a turn. I was just content with doing book studies and everything and posting. You guys said, no, we got questions. And by you guys asking questions, it encouraged me to do my best to do the study, do the work, and answer those questions. Yeah. One Voice Africa says, want more on the way. Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It is. So, but yeah. We are King Cam and Ujumbe podcast, according to FeedSpot. Check it out. In African history, we are number one. That's crazy. That's crazy. I got that email. I said, wow. Yeah. African history. Yeah, thank you, Sister Linda. Thank you very much. Yeah. Number one, and then of course in Black history, that's a different genre. That's I'm in the top 20. So yeah, and you guys have made this possible. You guys are awesome. I really am thankful and I'm blessed to have you guys taking this journey with us. And believe it or not, yeah, this us going live like this, it just become a thing, just 6 or 7 months ago. It wasn't even a thing. So I really appreciate you guys. Appreciate your support. I appreciate your the members. I appreciate everybody, all the questions. I may not be able to get to it right away, but I try my best to get to it. And it means a lot. It means a lot. There's been, to be honest, I'm not lying to you. There's been times where I feel like I want to stop. Yeah, there's been times where I was like, forget it. I don't want to do it. I'm tired, but to be honest, it's this journey is kind of, it's rough, especially when you are trying to do your best by telling the truth, by telling truth based on what you read and studied, not from a soundbite or some kind of racial perspective. It gets like that, where we have other people or even AI African history podcast that's like 100,000 followers and all that, and it's just a robot talking. No, but you guys have kept me encouraged and kept me going, and I'm really thankful for you guys. So that being said, we got a few more things. We got some things going. We got some things cooking. So I really appreciate it. We're not stopping. This ain't it. And thank y'all for being patient, because yesterday I had to take care of family. So we had to take care of some things. So I really appreciate that. But let's get it. Now to the business, right? Get all that talking. So between the paws of the Horus and Akhet is a granite slab or a Dream Stela erected by Pharaoh Thutmose the fourth. He said the generation is shifting. Yeah, brother. He said the generation is shifting. More African want to know about African history. Good times ahead. Yeah, it is. Yeah. And some people are unafraid to tell it. See what I'm saying? That's what that is. And I'm one of them. All right. So now remember, the Pharaoh is seen as the living Horus. Okay. In Egyptian theology, remember that in Egyptian theology, the Pharaoh was not merely a mortal king. He was a god king, an intermediary between the divine and human realms, right? Upon ascending the throne, the ruler was identified with Horus, okay, the falcon-headed Neteru of kingship. And upon death, he became one with Osiris, the god of the afterlife, as well. And as time went on, shout out to Baba Yakia. He makes sure I'm correct on my dates. As the new kingdom emerged, it went from Osiris from Ra to Amun, the hidden one. See what I'm saying? So yeah. And so this transformation solidified the concept that the Pharaoh was eternal, existing beyond the limits of human mortality. So in that case, we have the Dream Stela and the Sphinx role in legitimizing the kingship. This story served two key purposes. Okay, legitimizing Thutmose the fourth's reign and reinforcing the Sphinx's divine authority. Right? So now get this, okay? The Sphinx is seen as the Horus and Akhet, or Horus and Horizon. Kingship was not given by conquest, but it was given through vision and through the ancestors. And the Sphinx was seen as an oracle. Remember, The Sphinx teaches in silence. And so, clearing the sand, clearing illusion, restoring hidden truth. The hidden question is some of this, a lot of the text is damaged, but it's still you see two sphinxes here, right? So now we are at the point in time where we discuss the Dream Stela, one of the most mysterious contested monuments in Egyptian history, carved during the reign of King Thutmose IV, and placed between the paws of the Sphinx of Giza. This is a replica. This is a design or picture of it, right? It speaks of kingship, divine guardianship, and perhaps the hidden truth that there is more than one. But now, here we go. This is what I'm reading here is the Dream Stela. It's a narrative. It's a translation of the story. Okay, and so, but before I get into the story, now on the left hand side, okay, let me break this down real quick because Brother Ferguson he wanted me to break this down. I need to do that on the on the left hand side. Okay, we have the king of Upper and Lower Egypt, the Lord of the two lands. It says, Men Kafari to Thutmose, the appearance of appearances bestowed with life. Now, on the left-hand side is him greeting the Neteru with a Nimset vase. He's preparing the offerings. He's doing his thing, right? All right. So we have that on the left-hand side. Of course, we have Nekbet and Wajet, okay, providing divine protection over the king, right? And these are his names. This is his name broken down here. And of course, notice, look at that. Right above the Sphinx is the Akhet, Haru and Akhet. Right there. Yeah. That's his name. Okay. And if you notice, that's the Insubiti. Okay, that's he's the Lord above all. He's the Neb Nebu, Jesser Jesseru, not Jesser Jesseru, but Neb Nebu, the King of Kings. You see what I'm saying? And he is the Insubiti, right? And on the right hand side, okay, that is, of course, the Haru and Akhet speaking. So I give strength to the Lord of the two lands, Thutmose, the appearance of appearances, right? And on this scene on the right hand side there, we have the king of Upper and Lower Egypt, the Lord of the two lands. Of course, his name again, Men Kafare Thutmose, the appearance of appearances bestowed with life. Now, but look, there's a difference. There is a difference. One here with the vase on the right side. Notice there's some items in both hands, and his crown is different. This is the first time I really paid attention to that. This is the Neme's crown. This is of course, him in like normal royal circumstances or royal engagement. But this is the war crown here. He got to be king during peace and at war. But now look at his hand. In his in one hand, we have the incense, right? He's, the incense burning and he's filling the temple, okay, like prayers going up. And then on the other hand is him pouring libation. That lets us know that pouring libation is an African custom. He's pouring libation and he's giving a love and respect to the ancestors. Okay, and the word spoken here says, I give strength to the Lord of two lands, Thutmose, the appearance of appearances. And between these scenes here, it says, I make that Menkade appears on the throne of Geb, on the throne of the earth, and Thutmose, the appearances in the office of Atum. Okay. Now, here's the story. Okay, here's the story. Here's the story. But first say, yep. Here we go. Now, it says this is year one. Okay, this is year one of the third month of the Akhet. On the 19th day of the majesty of Horus, the victorious bull, perfect of appearances, two ladies, stable of kingship like Atum, the golden Horus, strong of sword, who subdues the nine bows. That's why there was a war crown there. Subdue the nine bows, the king of the Upper and Lower Egypt, Men Kafari, the son of Re, Thutmose or Thutmose, the appearance of appearances, beloved by Haru and Akhet, bestowed with life, stability, authority. like Ray eternally. May the good, according to the story, it says, may the good God live, the son of Atun, who protects uh Haru and Akhet, the living statue of the Lord of all, the sovereign God by Ray or Ra, the excellent heir Keferi, with the face as beautiful as that of his father, okay, who came forth complete, equipped with his shape of Horus upon him. So this was a time of transitional power, okay? This is the prince seeking guidance during the time of transition because it says this, the excellent heir of Kefri, with the face as beautiful as that of his father, who came forth complete. That means he transitioned. Okay. What's going on, Sister Macy? What's going on? Yeah, who came forth complete, equipped with the shape of Horus upon him, the king of upper lower Egypt, the Insubiti or the Simatawi, the kings of two lands, beloved of the Netaru, the possessors of charms, with the Ennead, the nine Netaru at the very beginning that came forth from the waters of Noon, right? The Ennead, who was purified at Heliopolis, who appeases Ra, who has embellished the temple of Ptah. These are all praises and adoration, right? Who presents Ma'at to Atun, who raises her before the one who is south of his wall, okay? Who makes monuments as daily offerings to Horus, as we see him making offerings, and who does all things to seek what is beneficial for the gods, all right? Seek what's beneficial for the gods of the south and the north, who builds their temples with white stone, who embellishes all their offerings, the bodily son of Atun, Chuhuti Mesu, appearance of appearances like Ray, the heir of Horus upon his throne, Men Zephari or Men Kafadi, bestowed with life. Now, here's the story. He says, behold, when his majesty was a youngster, like Haru im Akhet, his beauty like that of the one who protects his father, who is seen like the Netaru or the Neter himself. The army rejoiced in his love. The royal children and all the chieftains were in his power, making him flourish. And he repeated the circuit, his strength like that of the son of Nut. Behold, he engaged in a pastime, amusing himself in the desert of the Eneb Hedge, or Menifer or Memphis. Okay, upon its northern and southern roads, shooting at a bronze target, hunting lions and flocks, and riding in his chariot, his horses faster than the wind, along with the only two of his followers, while nobody else knew about it. It was just him and a couple of his friends. Okay, and so then the hour came. The hour came to give rest to his followers at the limbs of the Sphinx of the Haru and Akhet, beside Sokar at Ra Sechau, Renu et in northern Jemi, Mut, the mistress of the northern wall, and the mistress of the southern wall, Sekhmet, who provides over her Ka et or Kaset, the son of Heka, the holy place of the first occasion, or the Zeb near the lords of the Karaha, the divine road of the gods towards the west of Heliopolis. This was a sacred place. Think about it. He's with his friends. It's time to rest. Where does he rest? At the limbs or at the arms of the Sphinx, beside the Sokar in Sajal, Renu et the northern Jemi, Mut, the mistress of the northern wall, and the mistress of the southern wall. Sekhmet is there, who presides over the her Ka Set, the son of Heka, the holy place, the Jesaru of the first occasion of creation, near the lords of Kerha, the divine roads of the gods towards the west of Heliopolis. Now then, the great statue of Kefri, that's according to, they would say Kefri, right, was lying in its place, great of power and powerful of majesty, the shadow of Ra resting on it. The estates of Hetkapata and all the neighboring cities came to it. Her arms raised in adoration before him, carrying many offerings for his car. Now, one of those days, it so appeared that Prince Jehuti Mesu, the prince, came passing by at the time of midday. He sat down at the shadow of this great God. He got tired. Sleep seized him. and sleep at the time when the sun was at its zenith. He went to sleep in the noonday sun. He was tired. God, that dude was tired if he went to sleep in the daytime. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Man, I'm telling you, man, them midday naps be hitting though. How like and comment if you like midday naps. I'm saying about right after you eat lunch or something like that, about 1-2 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. But yeah, so sleep seized him, and asleep at the time when the sun was at the zenith, he found the majesty of the noble nectar of God speaking with his own mouth. The Sphinx is speaking to him like the words of a father for his son. Remember that all the princes and the priests were all duly initiated, and so their understanding and their foresight and vision was totally different. All right, let's put a disclaimer out there. And so the Heru and Akhet, this Sphinx says, "Look at me, see me, my son Jehuti Mesu. I am your father, Heru and Akhet, Kefri Atun, and I shall give you the kingship on earth in front of all the living ones. You shall wear the white and red crowns upon the throne of Geb, the hereditary prince. The earth shall be yours in its length and width." In other words, everything that the eye of the Lord of all that it illuminates, or Ra, the food of the two lands shall be yours, as well as the great tributes of every foreign land. Your lifetime will be a time great in years. My face is yours. My heart is yours, as you are a protector to me, for my current condition is like one that's in need. All my limbs, as if they were dismembered in the sands of the desert, which Allah have reached me. So at this point, the sands have almost buried the Sphinx, basically almost to his neck. So run to me to have that done which I desire, knowing that you are my son and my protector. Come forth, and I shall be with you. I shall be your leader. Now, when he finished these words, the prince stared and woke up at what he heard, and he kind of blanks out, and he understood the words of the God, and he put a silence in his heart. He kept it to himself. Then he said, "Let us hasten back to our home in the city. We shall set aside an offering for this nectar for the God, and we shall bring him oxen and all the vegetables, and all the arms shall be raised in adoration to those who were there before us." He was saying, "I'm going to pay homage to him and the ancestors." Noble Kefren, the statue made for Atunre, Heru, and Akhet. Days of festivities, many of my majesty for her, for Kefri in the horizon of the West Heliopolis in. And then at this point, at the bottom, it kind of it just is cut off. I wonder why. I wonder why. So here we see that the Sphinx is speaking directly as the Heru and Akhet, as the rising sun, the Lord of Horizon. But scholars have noted the stele is damaged, and some claim that its missing lines may refer to the two guardians or two lines of the horizon. So, but get this: to Moses the fourth, he did excavate the site, and he did become king. He said, "Set me free," and he said, "I will be with you." And I think that's important. That's an important thought as far as historical preservation, preserving history, preserving the knowledge that we know, uncovering those facts, uncovering that information. The ancestors are actually asking us to free them. It's just thought. All right, so this is where the pyramid text amplified this riddle in utterances, say 600 and 364 in the pyramid text, and we find that language again. We mentioned it earlier. The doors of the sky are open for you. The doors of Nut are thrown wide open for you. The doors of the firmament are thrown wide for you, that you may go forth by day, and you may have power over your body. You are Horus or Heru and Akhet, the great one. The two lions are your guardians as the gate of the sky. Here we find the two lions, the guardians of the gates. Many Egyptologists they dismiss it, but it's very symbolic. We can't bypass that. We can't gloss over that. But if you place this beside the Dream Stela, if you place the two Sphinx next to the Dream Stela, it's a possibility that the Giza complex had two, and it represented these twin lines of the horizon. One remains as a Sphinx, and the other one perhaps lost or destroyed or buried beneath centuries of shifting sands, because this Sphinx was actually, neck deep in sand. Okay, and also we have the Coffin text. I am he who sits in the shade of the twin Neteru, who guards the secret of the horizon. Wow, guarding the secret. Get back to guarding the secret of the horizon, the prince of that secret, whose faces look forward and back. I am the lion who watches in silence. I am the one who opens the path of eternity. This spell aligns with the image of the dual Sphinx, one looking east and one perhaps west, embodying the horizon itself. Okay, morning and evening, birth and death, renewal and decline. Think about it. Think about that. Think about this concept. But it's baffling and amazing to know that the Dream Stela shows Jehuti Mesu being chosen by the Sphinx, and he became king. And the pyramid text also describes two lions who guard the gates of the sky. Then we have the Coffin text describes the guardian with two faces, okay, sitting on the shade between the twin Neteru. Is this all allegory or metaphor? Or is it a memory being recalled? You see what I'm saying? And then there's another one. There's some more pyramid text. I told you we're gonna get to some sacred text here. The double lion gods Akhët open the earth for you that you may pass. This is pyramid text also. They open the doors of the sky that you may ascend. Okay. Also, it goes on to say the lions of yesterday and today lie on their bellies, their backs towards each other. Pyramid text. They guard the passage of Ra as he journeys through the sky. Then the Coffin text says, I know the gates of the horizon guarded by the lions of yesterday and tomorrow. I passed them. I am eternal. So we have the two lions, the Akhët and the Akhet, guardians of the dawn and dusk, the Sphinx, earthly embodiment of these cosmic gatekeepers. To pass them, that is an initiation. Okay, so the Dream Stela promises Jehuti Mesu kingship if he restores the Sphinx, which he did. But the deeper promise may be this: that true kingship, the true rulership, true mastery of the land can only come by harmonizing with the ancestors. The single Sphinx we see today is a riddle in stone, I think. But the voices of the pyramid text and Coffin text still whisper about a twin. So what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Like and comment below. What do you think? Is the missing Sphinx a literal twin, buried or dismantled, or is it symbolic? Okay, erased by later priesthoods to consolidate solar cults of Ra at Heliopolis. But now also, I'm gonna say this. Even I'm gonna put that out there. It's okay, Macy. He joined late. It's all right. But check this out. We know for a fact, for centuries, when a group of people decided to invade Kemet, they used a lot of their stones for their buildings, be it churches, be it mosques, or they will build right on top of these sacred monuments. So it's not too far-fetched to believe that maybe the second Sphinx was there, but it was stripped. But why is that an issue? Why is that an issue? See what I'm saying? Like and comment below. But why is that a problem? Here's why: it disrupts. Yeah. The invasion of 639 AD. And shout out to Baba Yakya and Infudisi, Master Infudisi Jehuti Mesu. They broke it down. They said that during the transition of power, there was a lot of priests of the hidden one still active during this time. Even during the Roman Catholic era and the Coptic Church era, where there was a lot of invasions and things was happening, and they said, "Look, you can worship the hidden one, okay, and you can part with him today, or you can join the Coptic Church or later on the mosque." A lot of them decided they chose to be to part with the ancestors. So the invasion 639 AD, yeah. The reason why I think the suppression, erasure, and the hidden code, it disrupts Egyptology's official narrative, saying that there's only one, and that Sphinx is like 2,500 years old or something like that. And it also, here's another issue, is that it reconnects Egypt to older African cosmologies. It does. Okay. And it also suggests that the suppressed feminine and divine counterpart. I told you there's a masculine and feminine. Brother Volta mentioned this earlier. Okay. And get this, patterns of erasure, pharaohs chiseling our predecessors' names, that was common. Okay, that was common. Let's be honest, be real. Then colonial scholars minimizing African spiritual continuity, and then the feminine principle often buried in silence. Okay, that's the reason why I still argue that the Sphinx looked like a woman more than anything else. Okay, and the lost twin, the hidden feminine, the buried intuition, the forgotten half of the soul, which is needed. Ma'at is still needed. Balance is still needed. Justice is still needed. Rediscovering it is both archaeological and spiritual, I think. Okay. So, but we talked about the twin sphinx, but wait a minute. Before I get to the Q&A, wait a minute. There are some vivid voices. There are some 15th century and some other accounts that mentions two sphinxes. We know the Coffin text discussed it. We know the pyramid text discussed it. But what about modern era? Okay. In the memory of the Sphinx did not die with the ancients. Centuries later, travelers, poets, and historians of the African and Islamic world continue to record traditions about the monument that there was two, and they saw them. One of the most vivid voices was, I know you can't see it, is Taqi al-Din al-Maqrīzī. Okay, he was a 15th century Egyptian historian, and he wrote extensively about Cairo, Giza, and the monuments of antiquity in his monumental work called the al-Kitat, right? And so al-Maqrīzī records that there were once two colossal sphinxes at Giza, not one. One still survives, the other one we know today. That one we know today. But according to his account, another twin sphinx once stood in the opposite side of the Nile. He writes this. Okay, in the time of the early kings, there were two idols in the likeness of the Sphinx. One of them remains until now, half buried in the sand. The other was destroyed in the days of the Muslims. That's why Sister Macy mentioned the invasion of 639 AD. They called them the Abul al-Hul, the father of terror, because whoever beheld them was seized with awe. This to my, I think this is extraordinary, this crazy, suggests that the medieval Egyptians preserved a living memory of a twin sphinx tradition, a pair of guardians mirroring each other across the river, perhaps symbolizing cosmic balance, east and west, sunrise and sunset. Al-Maqrīzī also notes that these monuments were connected with astrological and talismanic powers, built as protective images to Egypt itself. They were seen, not just say stone